Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my Adobe After Effects tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you how did I create this motion graphics inside After Effects. So as you can see, in the start we have a very nice fade in, and then we have the text come in, the tracking method, and then we have the lens flares, and we have the particles in the background, and the most important thing is that we have this camera POV or this camera blur effect in the background. So I think it's great, and I'm going to show you how did I create this exact and this full effect. So let's get started. Now before starting the tutorial, I would like to say one thing. This tutorial has been inspired by Andrew Kramer's spin-off tutorial. So I have taken inspiration from this thing, and the next thing is that in order to work with this tutorial and follow along, you need to download the stock footage. Friends, the thing is that you can create these particles using After Effects, using trapcode particular and particle systems and all that. But the thing is that will take a lot of time. Okay, it's going to take your render power, and you can basically avoid all those things by just downloading the stock footage. I think you take a look at the size. The size is small. Okay, only 162 MBs. It comes with 15 different stock footage, and it comes in 720p HD. So I think it's a great deal. Okay, and by the way, this is for free, so you don't need to do anything. The link is going to be in the description. Download this thing and follow along with me. So let's get started. Now first I'm going to create a new composition, 1050 by 576, 29.97. I'll make this I don't know, 5 seconds long. 05. Click OK. Now I'm going to create a new solid. So I'm going to call this BG. And what I'm going to do is, and actually friends, I would advise you all to get into this habit of whenever you see a motion graphic and you want to recreate it, always break it down into different elements. So for example, in this motion graphic, take a look at what all things I have. First, I have the text, okay, that kerning method, I'm going to show you that. Then I have this different lens flares. Third, I have the background, that camera POV. And in the end, I have the stock footage. So the stock footage is easy. Okay, you just need to bring that in. Let's focus on creating that POV or that camera blur. So I have got my solid created. I'll go over here, type in fractal, take with the fractal noise and drop it onto my solid. And this is very similar to Andrew Kramer's tutorial. Bring the brightness down, bring it down to -30. I'll take the contrast up to 120. That is looking good. I'll go to, and we need to animate the evolution. Hold on the Alt key and click on evolution stopwatch and write time into 100. And I think that should be good. Okay, I think that is good. Next, we have take CC radial blur from effects and presets and drop it onto the same solid. And make sure that the type is scratch. Okay, now I have experimented with all of them except for rotate fading on. I've experimented with these 5, and I think that the rotate and scratch don't really have any difference, but I'm still gonna stick with scratch. I'm gonna increase the amount all the way up to, I don't know, 80 maybe. That looks nice. And now if I was to scrub my CTI, you would see that we get this changes, and this is happening because we have animated the evolution. So that's looking good. Now we want to add in some color. So I'll select my layer, go to effect, color correction, and I'll take curves. Curves is kind of good. I like that. RGB, change it to red. And I'm gonna go for a blue kind of tint. So if you want a red, yellow, do your thing, but I'm just gonna go for a blue. As you can see, we build up with blue. Looking nice. Nice. It looks good. Now what we're gonna do is we are gonna create a mask. It is actually very similar to this Andrew Kramer's spin-off tutorial, but trust me, I'm gonna bring in some very different thing, and you will be like, what the hell? Okay, so make sure that the layer is selected. Go over here to your shapes tool and take the ellipse tool, and then we basically just want to make a circular mask like that. Right, it is in the center and it's looking good. Now we want to select the layer, hit the F key, bring up mask feather and just kind of feather it out. somewhere around, I think 100 should be nice. Go over here, come to fractal noise and change the blending mode to none. Okay, yeah, that's looking nice. I'm gonna duplicate my background. I'm gonna reset my curves effect because we want to make some color changes. I'm gonna go to RGB. I'm just gonna go to red and I don't know, go for a, I don't know, yellowish effect. I don't know, green effect maybe. That's looking nice. I'm gonna change the blend mode of these two layers to add. And as you can see, I get a very different effect. Now, just in case if this color is not looking nice and you don't want this, you can just come to curves and reset it and make your own different thing. So I just want to say that. Okay, I'm sticking with this color. Okay, everything is looking nice. And yeah, just to add in a little bit of variation, what you can do is you can rotate this duplicated layer. So hold on the W key, make sure that the layer is selected, hold on the W key and just flip it out like that. And actually like that. Okay, that looks nice. Okay, we have some variations and basically that looks nice. Now what we should do, we should definitely make them 3D so we can have like a zoom into it. And what we can do now, is check this out. We can firstly solo one of these layers. Actually, I'm going to rename them background 1, or actually orb 1. Control A, Control C, Control V, backspace 2. So we have orb 1, orb 2. I'm going to solo orb 1 first, and I'm going to take my pen tool, and this is the difference maker, friends. This is the effect. You can see this. It slowly comes in. If we have a basic opacity fade, it won't look that nice. You can see this. It just kind of comes in. So we're going to do some pen tool masking. I'm going to take my orb 1. I'm going to draw a very simple mask on it. So basically we're going to be having 2 masks now. Okay. Hold on the shift key and then just keep making the mask like this. And it's very simple. Now just subtract the mask. So hit MM and you'll get 2 masks. The first one is creating a solid and the second one is the one that we just created using the pen tool. So go to the mask 2 and make it subtract. So it looks like this, and make sure that the opacity that the feather of this mask is also on. So you get like a little bit of a feathered edge. Make it somewhere like 30 is nice. And you want to change the mask path. Okay, so make sure that you are at the first frame, hit the animation for mask path, and you want to go ahead in time, maybe somewhere at 2 seconds. And then you just want to, and make sure that your pen tool is selected all this time. And now you can just change the mask path, but make sure that you're doing it for the correct mask. Okay, most of the times beginners, I think, will start the mask path for mask 1, but we have to do it for mask 2. And now we are just gonna bring it in like this, you see. So we get like a very nice effect. It slowly comes in like that. And make sure that you are doing it all this on the first, as in on the second frame only. So we have like from the first frame, it comes out like that. And in the end, we're gonna have like a zoom in, so it will look even better. You see that? That looks nice. And we're just gonna hit. Sorry friends, I cannot hit F9 because Camtasia is on. I'm gonna do a right click. I'm gonna go to keyframe assistant. I'm gonna take easy ease. That just eases out the animation for me. And you want to do this for the second layer too. But actually, you know what? You can just, I think, copy the thing. Control V. And take a look at this now. So in the end, we don't really have anything. Okay, at the start we don't have anything, and then it slowly just comes out like this. So you can see we create a good effect. And you want to take a look at the final thing. So hit the T key on the keyboard, and we're gonna create an opacity fade. Make sure you're at the first frame, and take this down to 0. Shift page down, that jumps to 10 frames, and then take it all the way up to 100. So now if you see, You see, we get a very nice effect. And actually, you know what, friends, this is not working out. I think I have to do it manually for the mask 2, or this orb 2 actually. So I'm gonna hit MM. I'm gonna remove this mask 2, solo mask orb 2. Just wanna quickly do this. Gonna take this very quick, like that. Subtract my mask 2. As you can see, it looks very nice. Start the mask path with the first frame, go in somewhere around 2 seconds, and then I'm going to change the shape. And just, remove it out like this. So, we get like a different effect. This thing, may be a little manual work, but trust me, in the end, the effect does look nice. It looks appealing. And now if we unsolo it, and now if we see, we create a very nice effect. Take a look at this. This was not created by duplicating the mask, okay? This is manual works, hard works reward. So that's nice. Now what we have to create is, the stock footage. I'm gonna do a double click, and I've actually downloaded them. And what you can do is you can import the whole folder, particles. Click over here, import folder. And if you want to preview them, just do a double click. That's going to open up into footage panel. And then you can just hit the space bar. Without the rendering, you can just simply play the footage. Now, I personally like the particles 3 because, frankly, particles 1 and particles 2, they have like a lot of particles going on. And, we don't want that many particles. So particles 3, I think, is nice. You can work with particle 4 too. 4, I don't know, has this really odd, I don't know what to call this, some problems in it. So I didn't use particle 4. Particle 5 too. But particle 3 doesn't have anything like that. And everything is good. I'm going to take particles 3, drop it down over here. And we need to do some changes to the whole setup. So you're going to go to Effect, Color Correction, select this, Effect, Color Correction, and take Curves. And you just have to do some changes to the color. Red. Change it to full. Green. That looks nice. Yeah, we probably have to do a little more changes. Okay, so I have created this final effect, as in I just did some changes to the color, nothing else. And now if we were to preview, you would see we get this whole thing. You can see it really looks nice and creates a good setup for our text. And since these two layers are now 3D, actually, you know what, we will do the camera movement a little bit later. Next, what do we have? Okay, yeah, we have the lens flares. I'm going to create a new composition. Make sure it is the same as the comp 1. Click OK. I'm going to create a new solid. And friends, see, I have optical flares. If you do not have optical flares, you can probably work with the normal lens flare, but optical flares look much better. So you have to make sure about that. Go to options, and we just want like a center of we don't want all these strikes and everything. We don't want the iris. We don't want all of that. We just want this simple glow. I'm going to go to preset browser. I'm going to take light. I'm going to take this blue spark. And basically you have to remove all of these things. Okay, just keep the first two glow over there. Okay, so I removed everything, like I said. Okay, remove everything, just keep the first two glow and you'll be good. Click OK, and here it is. Take this optical flare and bring it to the center and change the color as per you like. Change the brightness, bring it down to somewhere like 40, and then take your ellipse tool and create a mask around it like this. Just position it properly. Hold on the space bar if you want, and basically you have to just and you just make sure that you feather the mask out. So hit the F key and just feather it out, and that looks nice. That looks nice. Okay, so now we just have to duplicate this, Control D, and just place it somewhere else. And yeah, by the way, change the blend mode to add so they don't overlap, and change the color to something like, you know, something like a different color. Maybe red is nice. Duplicate it again. Green is good. Duplicate it one more time. What? Oh, sorry. Duplicate the layer, bring it over here, and change the color to, I don't know, purplish. This looks good. And you don't need to really rename the layers, but if you want to, you can. And then we're just gonna create an opacity fade. So hit the T key, start the stopwatch for all of them, make them go 0. Hit shift page down, move 10 frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make that 15. Okay, I was hitting the page down key for moving frame by frame. Then take this values all the way up to 100. Shift page down, that jumps another 10 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make this go 0. So basically we have like this, you know. And then if we just offset the time, like this, you would see that. You see, we create a very nice effect. So that is nice. Okay, and now what you can do is you can just bring this lens flare composition into your comp 1, or into your main comp actually, like this. Now it's gonna having like this, and this really looks nice. Change the blending mode from normal to add so that it blends a little nicely. You see, this looks so much better. And now let's bring in the text. So press Ctrl T and type in something. By the way, I'm going to be using Steelfish as my font. Set it to regular. Just going to say welcome. I'm going to use my align panel to align it in the center. And I'm going to apply a ramp effect to the text. So I'm going to change it to a radial ramp. I'll take the first color and make it blue, like, you know, a light bluish thing. And that looks nice. That actually looks good. I'm just experimenting with the text colors. You know what? Yeah, I think this looks really nice. What I've done is I have set the first color to white, and I've set the second color. And by the way, my ramp shape is linear, so I've set the second color to blue, and this is the final effect that I get. You should probably be having the same thing unless you are doing something completely different. So this looks good. Or what you can do is change this white color to a very light blue. Yeah, this I think looks good. Now switch all the comps back. And just in case if your text is, like, you know, a little too light, don't you know, be shy to play around with the colors. Okay, just get loose. Okay, so now let's add in some more effects. We'll go to we select our text, we go to effect, and then I'll go to or we'll go to perspective and take drop shadow. Change the angle from 135 to 180 and change the distance from 5 to 3. Change the softness to maybe 1 just to add in a little effect, and that I think looks nice. If you want to, you can reduce the opacity. See, I'll take it to 40, and that looks good. Now we want to add in that tracking animation, so we'll twirl this text layer down, we'll go to animate, and I'll go to tracking and start the tracking amount from, I don't know, 150 maybe. Shift page down, and right over here we'll change this back to 100, or actually a 0, and this I think should look nice. See this? This really looks nice. Now, probably have to change a little bit of the color over here. This looks good. Now this comes in, just change this to half. This, you'll see, you get this effect. And this actually has a little bit of problem. It is not that smooth, so we'll just check. We'll take this last keyframe in the text, in the tracking amount, right click keyframe assistant, and change it to easy ease. You can just actually press F9. I'm recording, so I cannot press. Hit the U key, take that up. Now we want to add in that slow, fade in to all our text layers. So hit the T key, go to the very first frame, take the opacity, and bring it down to 0. Shift page down, take it to 0, and take this to all the way up to 100. Now if we preview this, you would see, and everything looks good now. Everything looks good. The final thing that we want is a camera now. So Control Shift Alt C, that's going to create a new camera. And now hit the P key on the keyboard. We start the animation. Shift page down, Actually, we'll go right to the end. Somewhere around 3 seconds, I think, should be good. And we'll just zoom into it. And yeah, make sure that our text layer is also 3D, so it zooms into it as well. So now if we preview it, you will see we have like a very slow animation that slowly zooms in. We have our starting place was 1458. I'll change that to -14. Actually, I'll change it to 14500. 1500. I'll go over here. I'll change that to 1300. Now if we preview this, you see we come in really nice and everything is good. Great. Yeah, what you want to do is you want to take this camera starting keyframe, do a right click on it, keyframe assistant, and take easy ease in, and then change this one to the easy ease. Do a right click, keyframe assistant, and change it to easy ease. That looks good. Now what do we want? Yeah, we want that big lens flare that I had. Do a right click, create a new solid, and you know what, friends, see, this time we are creating the optical flare right in our main comp. See, previously when we were creating lens flares, these small ones, we had to do it into another composition. So that is the reason, we had to do all this masking and everything. In this time, we don't have to do anything. We just have to create a new solid and create and take the optical flare and drop it onto the solid. So you won't have to do anything. Just change the blending mode to add, and you'll be good. You'll go to options, and once again, you go to preset browser, light, take the blue spark. I'll remove everything. I'll just keep this, and everything will be good. Just change the color to a little bit blue. Actually, that's not like that. That's an aqua color. This I think looks nice. Or what you can do is you can go to options, and the flare that you have, you can add this over here, lens orbs. That just gives you that extra look. You see this? Nice extra look. And yeah, you have to create that opacity fade for this new lens flare too. So just take any layer, hit the U key, copy the opacity keyframes, Control C, Control V. You can see that, nice. And in this new flare, I'm gonna call this big flare. We are gonna start the position keyframe, and we're gonna start the brightness. So hit the U key. Go to the end, make it come like this over here. Move ahead in time. I'll take this over here, and I'll reduce the brightness all the way to 0. So we want, and I want to stop over here. So I'll just reset it. So from here, so from this much time, it is all the way up to 100, and then it comes down to a 0. You see that? And actually, you know what we can do for creating it, or for creating a very good smooth animation, we can actually remove this first position or the second position keyframe. Just remove that, hit the delete key, and that I think will look better. Nice. Okay, that I think looks very nice. Just select these last keyframes and hit the do right click, go to keyframe assistant, and take the easy ease in, and I think that would look very nice. Now let's preview our final animation. The U key looks nice, and we I think should extend our camera movement a little bit longer. And actually, you know what problem that there's a problem according to me. I think that these lens orbs, or this orb 1 and orb 2, are a little too small. So we can hit the S key and change this to somewhat like, say, around 150. So right at the start, it comes out like this, and it stays like this, and then you can have like another fade in, fade out. So I think this looks nice. Yeah, in the end, what you can do is you can go over here to effects and presets, take Gaussian blur, in blur and sharpen, take it and drop it onto orb 1, change the Gaussian blur amount to 10, a very subtle one, Control C, and paste it onto the orb 2 too. So that just kind of softens the full thing. That looks very nice. Let's take a look at our final preview. Okay, so I did make a few changes to my final render. I have firstly changed the color of this big flare to like a magenta color, and then I've changed the position keyframes of that thing. I have increased the zoom in power, or the zoom in value of the camera, and in the end I changed the position of these lens flares. Now if you spend a little bit more time understanding and recreating this full thing, then I'm pretty sure you will have a better result than me. So let's take a look at what result do I have. See, and somewhere around at 3 seconds I would have another title come in on top of this. So that's how I would like to fade this part out. So thank you for watching my video. I hope you understood how to create this full thing. I know it went a little long, but I think it was worth it. So hope you enjoyed, hope you understood, and I will see you all in my next tutorial. Please like this video on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe and like my Facebook page. The link is gonna be in